What's going on, everyone? Thanks for entering the Lobby of Hobbies. I'm Jazz, and on this episode of Lobby Talks, I want to talk about what makes hobbies so crucial, and in some situations, the heartbeat of what keeps us going. I also want to discuss the importance of investing in the hobbies of others. Talk about their hobbies, but how we can bring them together with ours. So if you're ready for this one, let's get into it. So let's talk about this idea that the hobbies that we're into are such a crucial part of what makes us who we are. That it's this, heartbeat that keeps us going. Now, to do this, we must talk about the idea of self-care. Now, have you ever been at a moment in your life where you were at your wit's end, but your go-to hobby is something that helped you get out of the funk? Now, this is because that hobby is an integral part of your self-care kit. You can slot it in right next to family, friends, and the other things that help keep you going in life, right? Now, just like this board game shirt, I have, this board game here in the midst of all these other blips that would be on my EKG. But if you saw this in a grander scale, you'd probably see things like my family, my friends, work, other things that really help keep me going in life. So self-care is this idea that you're promoting this healthier function of life, this enhanced well-being, right? But what happens when there's a lack of self-care? What happens is that there's negative outcomes that happen in life. If you don't believe me, just turn on the news or scroll through your feed on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, whatever the case may be, and see some of the stories that happen. Some of these people, you'd say, were missing some integral parts within their self-care kit. Maybe it was family. Maybe it was friends. Maybe it was a hobby that they could turn to. So when I said earlier that it's important to invest in the hobbies of others, the reason is because when you're investing in their hobbies, you're investing in an integral part of their self-care kit. You're helping to fine-tune that and refine it to the point that when they're at their wit's end, they can turn to it and help get them out of the funk. So what I wanted to share with you in this episode is a list of some hobbies that other people might be into, some of them that I enjoy myself, but also a list of board games that I would recommend to, in essence, bridge the gap between a person who is into that hobby and your hobby and love for board games. So let's get into this list with the first hobby that I have, and this is camping. And I'm going to slot in hiking right along with it because I think these two outdoor activities go hand in hand with each other. Now, the game that I would recommend to people who are into hiking or camping is going to be Pairings from Keymaster Games. Now, Pairings is a game where you take the role of a hiker and you are competing against other hikers traveling through national parks with your gear, your canteens, and you're trying to create and collect memories. Now, if you've ever been camping or if you've ever gone hiking, you're pretty much creating memories with your friends or family or whoever you go with. And you're seeing the beauty of nature, right? And this game is beautiful. I'm talking about the cards that you see have some, beautiful picturesque scenes. Now, that goes hand in hand with exactly what camping and hiking do. Now, in this game, you're even building campfires, right? Which people are gathering around. Now, that's the only way I believe in this game that you can, share a space with someone is through campfires. Now, if you've ever gone camping or if you've ever just had a bonfire in your backyard or whatever the case may be, you have people gathering around that fire and sharing in that time together. So if you've ever come across someone or know someone that is into camping and you want a game that you can probably, bridge that gap or kind of get them interested in, try Pairings from Keymaster Games. So the second game and hobby that I have on my list, now this hobby is going to be fishing. It's one that I enjoy. It's one that when I want to have just a relaxing time, sometimes just to myself, I don't have a boat, but when I am on a boat or I'm on, the shoreline and just casting out into the lake, relaxing, I'm trying to, hopefully hook the big one. Now, a game that I would recommend that I've enjoyed, it's no longer in my collection, but it's one that I would recommend to anyone who would consider themselves an angler, right? And this is going to be Freshwater Fly from Bellwether Games. Now, Freshwater Fly is about exactly what it says. It's fishing. Now, in this game, you're having to, adjust the drag on your line and your reel, and you're changing out your different lures, and you're casting out into the lake or in the stream, trying to catch, different types of fish. Now, you're trying to catch different sets of fish that are going to score you different points. So this is a game that an angler would be right up there understanding all the terminology, because the game is exactly that. It's all about fishing. So if you're into, fishing or know someone who is, this game is not hard to learn. It's a very, I would say, introductory to medium weight style game that's worth checking out for someone who's really into fishing. Now, the third game on my list I have here is a game that I would recommend to someone who is really into or enjoys painting, art, drawing, things like that. I'm not the best painter, but I believe with this game, I could probably make what I would consider my own Picasso, and this is Canvas, and this is from Road to Infamy Games. Now, Canvas is a beautifully designed game. It's a hand management set collection game where you have these clear cards, and they have different pictures on them that you're kind of laying these cards on top of each other to create this canvas, this masterpiece of artwork. And you're competing in an art competition against the other people at the table to score points and create these beautiful works of art. Like I said, this is probably the only way I'm going to be able to create some form of decent looking art, because if it's not Crayola crowns and, a coloring book, count me out, all right? But check out this one, and this is Canvas. And the good thing about this is the actual game is a piece of art. Like legit, you can take the box, it has a hole that you can hang it on your wall and make it a piece of artwork within your house. So on to the next hobby, and this is going to be gardening. Now, I'm not a green thumb, just stick me with the lawnmower and the weed whacker and I'm good from there. But when it comes to, planting things, I leave that to my wife. And the game that I would recommend here is from Pencil First Games, and this is Herbaceous. Now, Herbaceous is a push your luck set collection game where you're collecting these herbs and you have to pot them into different types of pots. Some are looking for pairs of herbs, some are looking for the same types of herbs, and another one, I believe, is looking for different types of herbs. And there's a fourth pot that has a special scoring method. But if you want to know more about this one, I'm going to put a card up here in the top to the review that we did for this game. But there is another game coming out from Pencil First that kind of falls in the same line of, gardening, and this is called Floriferous. It just recently was on Kickstarter a little over a month ago, but keep an eye on that one, because that one might be another one, if you enjoy Herbaceous, you'd want to keep an eye out for as well when it hits retail. Now, the last hobby I have here, I believe, is a hobby that almost everyone is virtually into in some form or facet. While they may not share in the same genres of this hobby, they will enjoy the hobby in some form, and this is going to be music. Everybody turns to music for some reason, whether it's to, just enjoy, to share time and fellowship with others, but a lot of times it is to kind of get them out of a mood or get them into a mood, right? So this game that I'm going to recommend may not fall in line with the genre of music that you enjoy, but I'm pretty sure if you tried the game, this is one that you might enjoy. And this is called Rap Gods, and this is from Board Game Brothers. Now, in Rap Gods, you take on the role of a rapper, an up-and-coming rapper, and you are playing these cards down to try and gain money, try and increase your street cred, and also increase your rap skills to become the best up-and-coming rapper. Now, the game is pretty cool because I like the fact of playing the cards down, because they create a story of, where your rapper came from and where they're going to. So it's one that if you want to really enjoy and, kind of acting out your story or have this little role play going on, it's something that every time we play this game, that's exactly what we do. We kind of, take on this persona of who our rapper is, the city that they came from, and just have fun with it. And this is one that people who are not necessarily into the rap genre of music have enjoyed as well. So check this one out. This is called Rap Gods. So that's my list of just a few hobbies and some games that I would pair with to introduce to someone who, probably is either looking at the board game hobby or may not be looking at the board game hobby, but you're taking the time to invest into what is a crucial and integral part of their hobby and their self-care repertoire. So I want to thank you guys for stopping through. And if this is your first time with us, why don't you hit that subscribe button along with that bell icon? That way you can be notified anytime we drop new content. And if you like the video, why don't you give us a thumbs up as well, because that helps us out and helps the viewers see this video. So without further ado, thanks, and I'll check you guys out on the next one.